Hey all, this is Ifrits. Welcome back to the 2 low level challenge, or lowest level possible. Because this works, of course, in a very different way, as I've talked about before and stuff that we can take any quote-unquote random encounters. Oops, that's the wrong button, that's the wrong one. I need to press both of them at the same time to get the no encounters. But yeah. Yeah, he disappeared. Inside the cinnamons. Oh, so I forgot to put the toilet paper in the bathroom. Some new toilet paper because I was running out of it. Anyway, we are recording this now later, and stuff that after I've uploaded the first 4 parts and stuff that. So maybe we will do 4 more now and stuff that, because I'm willing to marathon this, pretty well and stuff that, yeah. You might say that, oh, you shouldn't quote-unquote allow grinding or whatever, but I definitely feel like you need to quote-unquote allow grinding, especially if you want to get certain characters later on, because of course we aren't going to be able to get Yuffie due to like literally encounters are not allowed. However, all forced encounters are allowed, meaning if you want to grind forced encounters, if you got a way to grind a forced encounter, then you can do that. Meaning we could theoretically fight Jenova Birth, Birth a couple of times on the Costa del Sol ship. But I explained how to do the glitch. Basically, you climb up on the ladder at the same time as a certain, basically after you, after you beat the boss or whatever it is, you you need to explain or whatever, right? And you choose not to explain the thing, whatever, The question is, theoretically, can we now do the material smuggle is the question. Before we go to meet separate again, before it goes crazy now. Just the question, can we make it into the mountain? Because yeah. I mean, you would need another file if that is the case. Oh, but what should happen is that but I think you need more save slots to do it, because yeah, they will be standing outside here to prevent you from actually going. It's a bit bad that they do that, stuff that, because yeah. But we are gonna need to be getting Vincent, and of course getting Vincent is gonna be a bit tricky, because of course, yes, we, for example, now that we have access to Aeris, as long as we have access to Aeris, that means that in every single battle, Aeris is gonna steal all the XP, because Aeris XP does not transfer over to any other character, from my understanding. There's no character that all of a sudden gets all the XP that Aeris got, and most of that, It isn't that, it goes to Vincent or whatever, right, or whatever, or that it goes to Black Yuffie or whatever, Yeah, because of course you might say that, but if we allow, for example, Aeris to get all the XP, for example, then that will change quite a lot of things. You might be wondering, why did we get the Material Saber, the Cannonball and stuff that, because those weapons aren't that useful. Yeah, sure, but it is useful for one boss. You might say, just get the hard edge and stuff that instead. But at that point, you can have some double growth weapon and stuff that, and double growth weapon is just going to be more important. Stuff that, and sure, you have more slots on the hard edge, for example, on the Grand Glove or whatever they call it, and stuff that, and all the other stuff. you're still sane, right? Then come over here and help. The guy that's laying there on the floor is of course Cloud, that his mother technically saved him and stuff that, Maybe Cloud's mother never actually existed or whatever, that it's just that he imagines stuff that, He slices, he dices. They didn't have this weird sound, what's that movie? There's the reactor. That's where it should actually be the reactor music here and stuff that, yeah. So. Yeah, if she wouldn't have picked it up there, the separate Masamune separate wouldn't have had Masamune stuff that, because he abandoned the sword and stuff that, Like, why did she think that she was going to be able to, It's of course wise. But yeah, but in the original Final Fantasy VII, right? I think they planned to actually do, I believe, was actually to kill off all the characters. That was something they originally thought about doing. But this was, of course, way after, because the original pitch of the game was that it was going to be a detective game or whatever. I don't know if it still was going to be an RPG or whatever, right? Because they made it, he was supposed to be like a detective, and I believe they even had the name already for the character and stuff that Claude was going to be the detective, or was a detective character. And Midgar still existed as a town, and that was actually the town that it took place, and that's why Midgar is the way it is. But it was going to be like a film noir-esque thing of whatever. It would have been cool if that game actually got developed as another. I think it's some spin-off, that's 7 series or something like that. Yeah, but that idea was of course used later on in like Parasite Eve and stuff that or some of it, I think. Parasite Eve technically was an RPG, but it was like a. It is weird to explain what it was because yes, they were not influenced by Resident Evil, definitely with Parasite Eve and stuff like that, and Parasite Eve was very, very unique of a game. Aha, what's writers? And I'm sure they didn't remember what happened because of course Claude was not there. He wasn't fighting separate, it was Zack that did. But then of course the reason why he fell into the Mako stuff, whatever technique into the live stream, was because of Claude and stuff like that, because he underestimated Claude. When I'm a snake. What a fascinating story. To your claw, to your metal staff. Na 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 na. Right, and we have take the telephone. Where did he get that from? Stuff that, like, was that just they bought it somewhere, you know, whatever, right? Right, she is 65, yeah, he's closer. We can equip cannonball. Then we put her in again. Save. Yeah, because at that point you cannot reach the thing anyway, so. Right, then let's go back to the shop here so we can sell more stuff. We can sell the metal knuckle, we can sell the material rod, and the assault gun, but we need to keep the peacemaker. Because you realize basically that if you're always using the lowest level characters and stuff that, you know, want the music. Okay, good. Yeah, and we can technically do it without getting the chocobo lure area and stuff that, you know. But we need to go inside and get the... And the funny thing is, of course, these aren't actually yellow chocobo, these are actually all colored chocobos, which is actually pretty interesting. So I'm guessing you're actually taking care of the gold saucer chocobos, is what I'm guessing is what the actual door is supposed to be. Except they don't say like, oh, I'm taking care of the chocobos or whatever, but... Maybe the has nothing to do with the chocobo rare racing part of the gold saucer, you know. So we get some choco monster material. And now with that, we go like over here. And we do. Why isn't there a way to have it like see from that angle and then like, you know? Have to use the strat here. We're gonna be using the strat, by the way. That was actually really bad here. Actually, sometimes watching from above is actually really bad. Ooh. I'm not taking the risk there. And we are gonna need to do false condor as well. Okay. Let's go. Oh, shit. Did Sephiroth do this? Or maybe I sold them. And I always thought that in like in Rebirth they should have, for the mines they should have added like a mega high level like dungeon and stuff that should be like post game or whatever, right? It's one thing that I think that they could go back and do to make like remake and Rebirth sell more, in my opinion, is that they need to go back to both of those games, and for example to the original they need to add level 100 being the max instead of what the level is currently, and that the levels don't scale up on like the hard difficulty and stuff that. Just so that it should make it so that you are able to actually grind and just make hard mode easy basically by just grinding out, stuff that. Right, and that's, yeah. But it gets to 10, we also got the long range material, which is going to be useful as well. Just a second. Nani? Letters. So now we have Helen. Who is the drunk in Rebirth, of course. Yeah. But I did like a whole text file at one point, after I played Rebirth like just before I finished it and stuff that, when I like complained about a bunch of things and stuff that, but I never did a video of it, and stuff that, because it was basically the fact that the only reason why I was okay with 3 parts was if why we're gonna include everything and not like remove anything, and that's the thing that they did remove stuff. And I count as, for example, not being able to go back into Midgar is one thing. And sure, you can't quote-unquote theoretically go into Midgar, but you can go outside where the gate is. Just that whole experience of like running towards the city, and imagine that in Rebirth, seeing the city from a distance and then getting close and seeing how huge Midgar is. Yeah, we're not getting that experience. We're probably not going to get that experience in part 3 either, to see actually Midgar from the ground, because you're probably only going to fly and jump into the city like you normally do and stuff that, and then there's going to be nothing more with that, right, and stuff that, and that's going to feel like really, really bad. So we got a tent, we got an ether and high potion. I want to be doing some footbird. But then I know instead of using their quote-unquote weakness or whatever, there are other ways to do it, to do things, and stuff like that, but yeah. Although you could try and do that strategy where you used insta-win or whatever. Condor in the reactor. And now we sell. So the high potions and the ether elixir isn't worth anything, so one elixir like we did not want to sell. we get one more restore? No. Money is still tight. Do we get more tranquilizers at this point? Nine tranquilizers. Yeah, so what we need to do here, for example, is you set the battle speed to the lowest, and stuff that. And you place a character as low as possible in the deploying thing. Enough. Get ready. 10 enemies, so there are gonna be beasts. It's fast, right? So you should always do the attacker. Okay. Here. Go on, actually attack that. Because we want to basically get to the point of where we can block everything here. Put that there, put him there, put him here, put this guy here, and put this guy here. You think that's gonna block the spawn point, and you're gonna want to go here. Yeah, see, we only need to defeat 2 enemies because we blocked their spawn zone. You have 9 allies left, so you get like some of their stuff back. Some of the money, not all the money you spent, but you know, yeah. We're not gonna do all 4th combo battles because that was the really important thing, getting the magic combo. That was the most important thing. But then yes, I know that there are ethers we can get as well, right? But even if we get the ethers, right, say you get 3 ethers or whatever, right? I think there's one battle that gives you like 3 ethers. That is still not worth the amount that you're spending on putting out all of those attackers. But now we have the magic tool. first is a double. Right, now it is. It's boss time. Not immediately. We need to go inside the town first. We need to sell the material clip. And then we need to do the setup for the fight. Which technically we technically need to, because of course we cannot abuse the fact that we cannot kill off the character before the fight. Which is going to be slightly annoying. We can sell the material clip for 400. This is useful. And we want to have restore poison. We use long range here. There's nothing to steal from the boss, but we can use sense. In use cover to take less physical damage actually. Put on lightning and put on ice. What we equip these characters with does not really actually matter because they will be dead. But it's actually good to still equip them with something. So Claude, you're getting long range. You're getting ice and all. You're also getting fire and all. Tifa. You're getting lightning, getting earth, you're getting ice, you're getting fire, and you are also getting steel. No, we shouldn't need steel at all. That's gonna be the setup. Yes, sadly she only has 289 health there, but we use tranquilizer on her. Right. Okay. Let's do this. Because technically we only need to poison it and stuff that to be able to actually defeat it and stuff that we can use poison and then we just wait basically until we win. What's that? What's it, Mr. Dolphin? Be careful, Mr. Dolphin. Be careful, Mr. Dolphin. Hey, hold on, we're coming. No. Maybe I should have equipped all material on Tifa as well. Because yeah, the goal is to actually fire ourselves here. Since the boss first. You have 2,500 health. Weak against wind. I'm so one here. You're on Medic. You can ice yourself. And we cast some bio, hell yeah. First try, everyone. tail attack, tail attack, tail attack, tail attack, tail attack, tail attack, tail attack. What is this can kill her? Yes, it is. Healing wind. And now we defend until he dies. Defend until he dies. Fuck your boy. And yes, he used to be here in the inventory and he will keep attacking. Okay, he does have a more powerful attack he can do as well. I thought it was the tick was gonna happen faster. I thought actually. Yeah, because any attack basically it's a risk that it will cast attack on us. We want to make sure also that we couldn't procure in time here. Okay, 498, 420. This organ mix attack, but I'm not yet. I'll take one more. I'll take one more. Oh. I don't know how much damage this move does actually. There we go, there he's dead. Big wave, how much damage do we take with trying? Yeah, we only take 58, so that's not too bad. That gives us 550 points. And we get a power burst. Yeah, young man sleepy on. No, she's not Bruce. No, she help her own boy. Sleepy on. I think we can go higher than that actually. I forgot when it starts looping though and stuff. That's like how high do they actually allow it to go? Yeah, and I do remember reading somewhere that that there is a way to also do it with only doing shortbreads. Is that an awake? No? I think one more. Fucking floating is inflatable balloon. Humor value. Because keep again, even with this, right, she is still the lowest level and stuff that, you know. So keep that in mind. We do want to change some material around though for the next fight. I'm pretty certain poison did not work, said boss. He says what now? But he has nothing to say here. Right, there's nothing special really. Done so much for me. We can rest here. Yeah, actually do the selling stuff here first. I forgot to write, can you loot the wind slash or does that break the thing? That's the question. Yeah, so consider power wrist. Even though the power wrist gives some nice damage eventually instead of explosive. Okay. Or you find out soon. Right, and what I think is actually talking to Claude is actually not actually Sephiroth, but is instead actually Jenova and stuff that is actually talking to Claude. But supposedly all the quote-unquote all soldiers technically get injected with Jenova cells, but then of course Claude got injected with Jenova cells, and Claude wasn't of course a soldier and stuff that, you know, so, you know. This is why he got completely fucked up and stuff that, you know. Because the goal with the thing was to create separate clones and stuff that, and I believe that was technically what they tried to do with Angel and Genesis in Crisis Core. Ace, the dolphin can help you. Wait a second. Yeah, now I have Shiva as well here, but yeah, So it's going to be very important here, of course, that we get the force dealer. Force dealer issues for Aeris gets and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, sure, you might say, oh, but HP plus material is better. Technically it is, but getting force dealer now is going to be good. So, hit square once. Hit square again. Don't. Imagine people trying to line it up back in the day. Lol. And it was always supposed to be an impressive scene. I like though how we have the shield beam, like almost cutscenes compared to like the because I mean technically we have already seen the scale of the high wind in Rebirth and stuff like that, but yeah, being able to go back to Evryone is also another thing that feels like really bad, stuff like that. And then the whole point that there never seems to be actual proper grind spots where you could level like a shit ton. I would say that, for example, in Rebirth, I think, for example, they could have made level 100 the maximum again, or maybe even make it higher, because I definitely feel like we need to be able to go higher than level 99 and stuff like that. Shooting through first degree change, jumping your real. Yes, it's the X button is what they say here. This actually has to do with the Mars, and stuff, Yeah. Because it's just basically that you just mash the X button to get the rating faster. You don't need to do it in a certain timing, basically. Then you see the massive cannon, and how they kind of made like a Shinra headquarters and stuff like that. Yeah. You can see there how small the town underneath is, stuff like that, like how huge, how high up it's supposed to be, stuff like that, Like Evryone is insanely massive in size. I do Uruki. Charge! Got a grenade at least out of it. I was pressing X there, but I think that maybe it's the fact that you're running with that button that screws it up. Or maybe they tell you the wrong button. Or maybe you need to hold X. Because I know that there is basically, I used to know the cell setup at one point, like basically exactly the input you have to do, because it's basically like a very specific input. If you do the correct input all the time, then you will just get a very high score, and if you get a high enough score, you get a bunch of ethers, I think it is that you can sell, so you get some money, or whatever, like quite a lot. I think if I remember correctly. It's so weird that I used to know how to do the skip, like the guard skip and stuff like that, you know, but I don't know now why I cannot get the guard skip anymore, you know, stuff like that, you know, in Midgard, stuff like that. Yeah, imagine if you could have like AI assistants to do certain tricks, speedrunning tricks or whatever, right, you know, it would just be so useful in a casual run, because if you want to do the truest, lowest level possible run, you would need to do certain glitches, stuff like that, but yeah. And I never realized that these characters or the officers here, the red ones, are actually supposed to be girls. Stuff like that, which is interesting. I wonder what happens if you do absolutely nothing here and you use the ones. And actually, if you get a low enough score, I believe you get either the glasses or the headband accessories. My best move. I practice it. Attention. 10 hot, 10 hot. 10 hot, 10 hot, 10 hot. Cancel a grenade, boom. And we want seal here. And to restore. We don't want to revive, we don't want to spend 3,000 on revive, because revive has absolutely not much use at all in the game. I also thought revive felt like, okay, like why would you survive over Phoenix Downs? But the thing is, of course, if revive by default could revive you with more health than a Phoenix Down, that would be really good. And here's where you get the hard edge, the grand glove that makes this a striking staff, the diamond pin, the boomerang and stuff like that, so yeah. This is, of course, the bald club. Yeah. The dark bald here. He has a little bit of hair back there, but yeah, but otherwise it's the bald club. Bing bong do 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 do. Bing bong. No, I assume you will come warms my panties. No, I'll run away. Fucking shit. Mine source. Finding packets of sauce with different colors. Like the power sauce is definitely, since it's red, it's definitely like, you know, it's definitely like barbecue sauce or something like that, yeah. Look, there's the ultimate weapon for her. Pretty certain that's actually supposed to be that they're actually told to with that, because you can clearly see it's an umbrella, and it's the only umbrella you see anywhere, I believe. I think specifically on that screen. They cannot find his uniform, this guy. These are the guys that died at when the plate fell down. Enemy skill, we can get another enemy skill here. Well, most enemy skills we are not going to be able to get, but there are some we're going to be able to get, and the enemy skills are still going to be useful. Because we still want to pick up Trine from Materia Keeper, and it's actually going to be very important to pick up. Now theoretically, right, you can still get the forced encounters here, right, if you have activated the alarm, right. I forgot. Can you get encounters even though you have encounters off? That I don't remember. Shinra members body. And of course you can rest here if you want to for 30 gil only. And there's really nothing here you can loot, yeah. I'm gonna check if something because I want to see like there's all the basic stuff here. But we could get more potion materia here. It does have uses and stuff like that, but look. And here is where you could get some. Here's where you can get silver glasses and you can get headband. Yeah. Was of course very useful for that Hojo fight and stuff like that. Yeah. This is speed, right? Yeah, speed source. We didn't sell the one to trice only, right? No, we did not. We actually want to use the speed source. What's the luck stat? The luck stat is 19. Yeah. And these, I believe, are just going to be where the Mithril Saber and stuff that is here. It's actually when Mithril Saber is here again. Mithril Saber Cannonball, all of that stuff. Alright, some chill out. Circle. X cross. Left face. Circle. Triangle. Left face. Square. Square. Right face. Circle. Left face. Cross. Triangle. Square. Square. Left face. Circle. Circle. Square. Cross. Left face. Circle. Circle. Left face. Alright, now finish strong. Special 200. Is that the highest you can reach? I never seen it actually go that high before, I don't think. Everyone will get Sabakwa. You get 4 steel air, which of course is insane when you snake in his friends. I thought I told you to stop that stupid horse you left. Yeah. I thought you were dismissed. Funny the boobs. Oh, I didn't even speak to her 30. Huh? But I think you're normally supposed to get the music already before it zooms in the ship. Oh my god, I'm misremembering that. And the ship is still not as good as the Breath of Fire one. Like Breath of Fire 3. I know that it's on GOG and I should probably, you know... Drunky shit. When you're drunk and when you're on a ship, you're drunk on a ship, drunk on a ship. When you're drunk and you're on a ship, when you're drunk on a ship, you can find a nice long ass that you can span when you're on a ship. When you're drunk on a ship. I forgot which option I chose there if I did choose the correct one. Something's missing, what do you mean? Something's missing, what do you mean? Something's missing here. Victory saber, we sell them, ether, so much yet. I always felt like that there should have been something special if we collected the whole set, the whole 12 sets. Costa del Sol. Up to raid 13. It's me, the fear. Why did he turn into young Daga? See Dark, I hope he's not doing anything stupid, like wearing a sailor dress when you're drunk on a ship, drunk on a ship. Off your sparky hairy butt. Seven of 3. Har det hela sporten nu. Which phone dog? So 13, 12, 11, so since both of them, yeah, that's